Do you want to get stronger? Do you want to build your biceps, triceps, shoulders, chest, and back? Do you have almost no free time whatsoever? Well, then you're in the right spot because this video is going to seem like it's almost made exactly for you because my name is Gabe. I'm a busy dad myself, and I'm on a mission to help thousands get in shape. And I'm also on a mission to get bigger and stronger without gaining 50 pounds like I did in the past just to accomplish the same thing, which ended up with a lot more body fat than I needed, which I had to diet down anyway. So we're taking a different approach this time around. With that said, we're actually gonna go into my upper body workout. I have 2 per week, and then that way you can see how I approach this. And in case you want to build out your own routine, I actually have an entire video talking about the whole week of workouts. But for the sake of today, we're gonna get into this upper body workout. I'll pop it up on the screen right here in just a second, and we'll go over this. So starting it off with the classic bench press, because you can't really have a workout without a bench press and a bicep curl. I mean, I guess you could. But in the case of today, we're doing some bench press. And one thing that I really want to do is get my body used to handling heavier weight. And this is not a heavy weight for the prior me, the 205, 210 pound me, where I could easily bench 225 pounds for reps. Here, we're doing 165. We're just over body weight on the bench. I'm chilling at 164. That was 165, and it went up okay. We're just getting used to putting that heavier weight on the bar, and we're gonna get that weight up over time just by doing that, as well as some actual training where we're doing sets of reps. So in the case of this, what we're trying to do is 2 sets of somewhere between 4 and 6 reps, and the weight that I chose, which was 145, hit me right in that rep range for both sets. So what we're gonna do is go to the top of the rep range. We're gonna get 2 sets of 6, and when we do that, however many weeks it takes, which I'm pretty sure I'll get it next week, we're gonna increase the weight by 5 pounds and do that process again until we reach our goal, which we're looking to get to, we're shooting for 185 for 8 reps, which sounds a little weird, but we'll get into that as the weeks go by. Moving on to barbell rows, we're at the same 145, trying to kind of keep on pace with the bench press. So we get the chest, shoulders, and triceps stimulation from the bench. We get the back and the biceps, the rear delts from the rows, and kind of keeping those at the same weight will keep you pretty balanced. That way you can have the lats activate pretty good for the weight you're using in the bench press, and everything that you're using in the bench press activate as stabilization and antagonist muscles for the rows. And what I'm doing after this is 1 set of chest flies, followed by another set, so a total of 2 sets. I gotta back it up a little bit. On the rows, we're doing 2 sets of 6 to 10, because I don't wanna do too low of reps on the rows. But for the chest flies, we're doing 8 to 15 reps for 2 sets, and we're just doing them as good as we can. I took a while away from these dumbbell chest flies. They are not the best option out there. I'd much rather do a pec deck if you have availability for that, or cable flies. These are okay. I like the incline better, but I also don't have an incline bench. So that's one thing that with fitness, like you kind of have to do with what you have, unless you can get access to more. And in my case, I don't want to go to a gym, so I'm going to make the best of what I have here at my home gym. And even saying all that, they still get some really good chest stimulation if you do it correctly. And I'm still working on getting very good at the technique. Right now, I think it's acceptable. So we got a while to go to get the most out of that, and then increasing the weight over time. But 2 sets, 8 to 15 reps. Now what I'm doing here is a weird thing that I did back in 2018, which worked really well once I got good at them. And in the case of where we are at now, the reps are not where I want them to be. Because what I was doing before, back then, 6 years ago now, kind of crazy, when I was actually chilling at about 185, 190, so not quite as heavy as the way prior self, but I was working out with a buddy here, and we were doing this. It's not really a superset, it's more of a giant set, but we do the bicep curls, followed by these skull crushers, followed by the lateral raises, which you'll see in just a second, all in succession, no real breaks in between, just to kind of adjust to the next exercise and then go from there. This was incredibly efficient, but if you can see here, I only did 5 reps on those skull crushers because it does kind of tax you more than doing individual sets because you're not getting that rest time in between. However, when I was able to get these 25-pound dumbbells back then for 2 rounds of 3 exercises for 12 reps each, my arms are way bigger. My shoulders popped more, and this may not have been the answer of the only reason why, because I was also benching over 225 there too, and I was doing rows with like 185 for clean reps and everything. There was that factor of getting a really good pump in, even though that is not a determining factor of muscle growth. it does play a part in terms of developing the strength, which will play a part in your stronger big lifts like the bench press and the row, which also will play a part in your muscular and strength and endurance. It all works together. My whole point is it all works together, and the way I was doing that was very efficient and was able to get a lot of work in a short time, especially considering that at any moment I could be needed in the mornings. You know, I got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and you never know what happens in the mornings. Try to get in, try to get training done, but sometimes I'm called. So I'm like, I might as well maximize the time on the big lifts, like the bench press and the row, and then get as much as I can done for the rest of it, because the accessories are not going to be the bulk of the progress that you make, but they absolutely do contribute in a good way. So that's how I squeeze everything in. We're gonna go over the leg day next, and then finally we're gonna go over the upper body B workout, which is gonna look similar, but definitely different. So stay tuned for that. That's really all I got for this one. I could ramble on for another 20 minutes, but we're not gonna do that here. I got a lot more to share in future videos. In the meantime, go ahead and check out other videos on the channel, and also, subscribe if you want, fit.innercircle.com for the newsletter and programs and all the sorts. And that's all I got for now. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.